Hey guys, Andy here from Mediocre Hobbies coming at you with more Legions Imperialis videos. You guys are soaking up these videos and all the comments for every video is constantly asking for more and more. Every Instagram post, can't wait for more, can't wait for more. So in today's video, I'm finally going to start the process of tackling the Solar Auxilia side of these sets. Obviously, they are more complicated to paint than the Space Marine. I think we can all be in agreement of that particular fact. As such, I can't find any other creator who has put out any Solar Auxilia content so far. The Games Workshop one that they put out isn't the best, if I'm being perfectly honest. So I guess it's my turn to step up and try and give you guys something to help you paint up your miniatures. So I'm going to start with the Solar Auxilia Infantry box set. Obviously you get one of these box sets inside of your starter box, so most people are going to end up with some Solar Auxilia. Like the Space Marine box, I thought about trying to do it in a single sitting, so the video would have been how to paint an Astra or a Solar Auxilia box set in a single sitting. That obviously isn't going to work. So I cracked it open, saw the kind of detail I was dealing with. I knew that wasn't going to be possible. So what I'm going to do is split it into two separate videos. I'm going to split the set of models in half. What I'm going to do in today's video is focus on the Ogryns and the Sentinels and get those painted to a nice, crisp tabletop standard using only a couple of colors in a short amount of time. And then in the next video, I will tackle all of the infantry. So if you put those two videos together, you should be able to paint up your Solar Auxilia. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have it be a fairly standardized paint scheme, and then there will be this flash of color that I will introduce. That flash of color is the interchangeable part of this scheme. So if you have a color, if you want to put it as red or blue or purple or green or whatever you want to do, as opposed to the yellow that I'm going to use, that's the color that you will swap in and out to make yours the way look the way you want them to. So hopefully that's helpful. Before I get into the video, I just want to say a huge thank you to my patrons. You guys are amazing. If you're looking to get involved with that and with them, there's links to it below in the description. You get access to a private Discord server and an extra video every single week. So that's 52 extra videos a year. They'll be getting some extra Legions Imperialis content this week and for the next couple of weeks probably. So if that's what you're on the hunt for, check it out below. Okay, without further ado, let's get painting some Solar Auxilia. Okay guys, so this is the Solar Auxilia Infantry box set itself. It contains 104 miniatures. So as you can see, it is quite a task to take on, or at least it would seem to be quite a task to take on. The purpose of all my videos for Legions Imperialis is the idea to basically break it down into bite-sized chunks, try and alleviate the fears some people may have about getting so many miniatures painted up. I'm trying to push their kind of thought process away from, you know, when you say the word 106 miniatures, people assume it's 106 miniatures. It's not. They're especially the infantry pieces in this game system, I think just kind of represent game pieces in the, you know, they're not supposed to be like works of art. Obviously the tanks I think can be made look very nice. Everything else I just think needs a bit of color. As you can see, the sprue is cut in half. The bottom half contains the Ogryns and the Sentinels, and the top half is all of the infantry. So in this video, I'm going to tackle the the Ogryns and the Sentinels. So there's two of these sprues in there. Each sprue contains 4 Ogryns and 2 Sentinels. So that means I'm doing 4 Sentinels and 8 Ogryns for a combined total of 8 bases of stuff. Every base contains 2 Ogryns, and a Sentinel is a base to itself. These are all multi-part models, so I decided to spend a bit of time getting them clipped out, cleaned up, and glued together. And that basically made me decide to do these guys first as opposed to the infantry. So I didn't kind of get the parts lost or anything like that. The Ogryns are in 4 pieces. Sentinels are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. So not too bad at all. You can get them all constructed quite fast. Ogryns are obviously quite large pieces. Even Space Marine Terminators fit 5 to a base. Ogryns are 2 to a base. So they are very big, chunky boys. I actually have the 28mm equivalent to these guys in my actual Solar Auxilia army. They are massive. And they're very cool models. And once again, I think it's a really important point to talk about the idea of painting epic scale infantry. These models are not supposed to be, you know, base colored and shaded and layered and highlighted. You cannot do it. If you did do it, you're not going to do it 106 times per box. And like, this box set is by no means an army. You are going to require so many more miniatures than this. So I myself have made the conscious decision that I'm going to make the infantry and anything a little bit bigger than infantry, anything smaller than infantry, just basic paint jobs. There's a couple of colors and a wash, no layering, nothing like that. And then where I'm going to put the effort in is, you know, Titans, all my tanks. There where I'm going to put a little bit of extra effort in. If you've seen my Sakaran video that I put up yesterday, I put a little bit of effort in. There's still only 3 or 4 paints used, but the tanks look great. And I think if you look down on a tabletop of, you know, Legions Imperialis, nobody's going to be picking out the infantry as the thing to look at. They're going to be looking at all the cool tanks and Titans and scenery and stuff on the table. So I think that's something that a lot of people just need to make sure to keep in mind when it comes to painting these models. As you can see, I'm using a little lollipop stick with a little bit of super glue to attach the Ogryns to and the Sentinels to for spraying and painting purposes. I'll be painting their bases separately. I also won't be showing you how I paint their bases in this video. I did show it off in my first video where I paint an entire Space Marine box set in a single sitting. If you are curious how I did it, you can go back there. I will at some stage do a full basing video as well, where I think I do 3 or 4 different schemes for the designed bases for Epic, but that'll be coming in a week or so. I got the model sprayed black, and then I sprayed them with silver, kind of like a dusting from the top, so it already gives them this kind of nice dark steel shaded look. Then I'm going to grab Imperial Fist Yellow and I'm going to apply it to the Ogryns. I'm going to start with the Ogryns, we'll do the Sentinels after. So for the Ogryns, I'm doing their face plates and the kind of cloth or soft parts of the armor on the legs and on the arms. The reason I'm doing the Imperial Fist Yellow is these guys in my head are the Auxilia for my Imperial Fist Legion. They're going to be fighting together in the games, and I want it to seem like one cohesive force. At the beginning of the video, I talked about the color that you would swap out, and this is that one. So if you want to do Auxilia for Blood Angels, for instance, swap this color for Blood Angels red. If you don't want to do it as Auxilia for anything else, you want to stick to your own color scheme or whatever, this is where you would swap it out. You want to do a blue, you want to do a green, purple, whatever. This is where you would swap it out and you would apply this color to those parts and then continue on with the rest of the video exactly the same, and you will get a completely different look to your Solar Auxilia infantry. But I think if you look at Solar Auxilia being 90% of that silver, they're wearing a lot of plated armor, lots of like it's fully enclosed armor, it's void hardened if you will. So I think if you keep that in mind, they become a lot easier to paint. After the yellow, I grabbed some Black Templar, and this was for all of the pipe work that's on the Ogryns themselves. So they have these big, huge pipes coming off the back, and I wanted to get them done with the Black Templar just to break up the amount of metallics once again. This is, again, once a very quick and easy step, keeping the guys nice and dark. I don't want these Solar Auxilia to be kind of bright and vibrant. I don't want to stand out as much as a Space Marine Legion does on the tabletop. I don't particularly know why that. I just think the soldiers should be a little bit kind of darker and a bit grittier compared to the Legions. I don't know whether you guys agree with that. Let me know in the comments below. If you have a different feeling to this, you want to make them bright and vibrant. But for me, no, a couple of colors I think is easy enough to do. So these models have been sprayed silver. They've had a little bit of yellow and a little bit of black applied. Took maybe 5 minutes to get those colors onto all the Ogryns. Not too bad. Bit of Retributor Armor Gold, and I'm going to apply this to a very select few parts on these models. I don't want to spend a long time on each individual model. So basically the kind of couplings, if you will, which hold those pipes to his face mask. And then there's little bits on the backpack to do in gold as well, just to add a third color and break it up just a little bit. These are obviously Ogryns, quite elite troopers. They're a little bit bigger, so when you do look down on the tabletop and see these guys, they're going to stand out a little bit more than your basic infantry. Adding just that tiny bit of extra effort with these is fine. But having said that tiny bit of extra effort, it's still only 3 colors applied so far. And then I'm doing the last step now, which is adding a null and oil shade. For these guys, for the Space Marines, I thinned it down and shaded them. For these, it's straight out of the pot. Now, it's the new formula null and oil. I keep having to say that in videos. The 18 mil pot. If you have the 24 mil pot null and oil still, that is the old null and oil. It's a lot thicker. It's going to darken them down a lot more. It's not what you want. You want the 18 mil one, which is the new thinner consistency shade. And you're going to apply this to the entire Ogryn body. It does make quite a bit of difference. It does pull all those details to the front. You can see all the shaded areas. And it basically just adds a lot of contrast to the models. And I think for gaming pieces at this scale, it works absolutely brilliantly. And I am happy enough to leave them at that stage. Like here, the one on the left, not shaded, the one on the right is shaded. I love that shaded look. I think it looks fantastic. And for, like I said, an infantry model is going to be 106 miniatures. Taking them to this standard, I'm more than happy with. Here's an example. The bottom row is shaded, top row is not. Let me know what you guys think. I would really like to know your thoughts and opinions on this. Do you think I should be taking these models further? How do you think this is perfect for, like I said, gaming pieces? This is how easily the super glue pops off of the lollipop sticks, breaking the models free. And then obviously I've got my bases that I've already painted up. I use 3 colors and a sponge to add a little bit of texture. And all I did is a dot of super glue under each foot and then put them into place. Remembering it's 2 Ogryns to a base. And as you can see, only 2 Ogryns fit to a base on these guys. They are quite beastly models. I would love to, at least I can't wait to see what they do on the tabletop. Obviously, I've got another set of the Solar Auxilia introduced. So I've got another 8 Ogryns to paint up. I think that's another thing as well, knowing how much repetition there's going to be. Because I did these guys so fast, I'm not daunted by the prospect of doing another batch of 8 of these. That doesn't worry me at all. Whereas if I put loads of effort in, I'd be like, oh, they look great and I'm really happy. Oh, time to do it all over again. And I think that would drive me slightly insane. So here's a little base done with 2 Ogryns on it, painted up and ready for the tabletop. I think it suits the grim dark aesthetic of the Horus Heresy. And yeah, I like it. I don't know. Like I said, I'm happy with the result. I can see that some people may not be happy with that result, but let me know if you managed to paint 106 dudes nicer. Okay, onto the Sentinels. Got sprayed exactly the same way, black and then silver, and then we grabbed the Imperial Fist yellow contrast and applied this all over the kind of hull of the Sentinel. So the whole, like the center body, and then the armor panels that go over the legs and the feet got done in yellow. Once again, a very quick, easy, and accessible way of getting some color onto these Sentinels. I now have the dilemma of deciding whether or not to do my vehicles to match my Imperial Fist, so exactly the same way, or will I spray them silver and have them match more of the Solar Auxilia. It's kind of a toughie. So after I did the yellow, I jumped onto Retribute Armor Gold, and these guys seem to have a little bit more gold detail than the average Solar Auxilia. So I have absolutely no idea if these guys are more kind of elite or specialist or anything like that. Like I said, I own a Solar Auxilia army. I do own every 40k model for Solar Auxilia that has been put out so far, but their Sentinels have not been released. So this sculpt that they've done for the Legions game is a totally new design for Solar Auxilia. So I don't know whether they plan to bring this out in a larger scale format for the traditional Horus Heresy game at some stage. If they did, it'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see how it works. But as such, I have very little lore or knowledge of these things. So yeah. So as you can see, after the silver spray, all I did was add yellow and a bit of gold, and then I null washed them. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Super quick, super efficient. Like I said, I've got 4 of these guys to paint. This one and 4 more in another set, so that means I'll have 8 of these guys to paint. I just realized that's not true. I've got 2 more sets of them. I've got 2 more sets of everything. So I've got 16 more Ogryns to do, and 8 more Sentinels to do. Oh my god. So we're going to have quite a large Solar Auxilia force. Here is what it looks like with one of them shaded and one of them not shaded. Like I said, the nice, grim, dark, oiled up look on the right, I think looks really well. Here they are when they're dry. Once again, they pop super easily off of their lollipop stands. Pop and pop. And once again, we are going to spend 2 seconds super gluing them to their new bases. And I really like these. I think they turned out great. You can, of course, go back in and relayer up the yellow if you want to. If you think you've got the time to do that, more power to you. But for me and for gaming pieces, I am really pleased with the result of these models. More than happy to have my entire Solar Auxilia force look like this. And play some games with them. So here they are over a slightly darker background. So you can kind of see what they will look like on a tabletop. I think they look pretty cool. Extremely difficult models to photograph. It kind of drives me insane. And here's the Sentinels as well. Once again, guys, please let me know in the comments below what you thought about this video. It's kind of a bizarre one, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Okay, guys, and there we have it. Solar Auxilia box, first half of it done. I have 4 Sentinels painted up, ready for the battlefield, and I have 8 Ogryns painted up, ready for the battlefield. So 4 more bases added to my growing collection of painted Legions Imperialis stuff. Obviously there's quite a lot still to get through, and I'm looking forward to bringing it all to you guys in the next couple of weeks. I will be jumping over to the infantry side of this. It'll probably be mid next week before I get to it. I want to put out a video which teaches you guys how to paint, I think, the 9 loyalist legions. I'm going to do a rhino for each of them just to show you how to quickly paint all of those, and that should be out probably Saturday. So at least that's my hope. Let's see if that comes together. So if that's something that interests you, make sure you give the channel a subscribe just so you don't miss out. Make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it, and ask me any questions you want in the comments below, or request specific things. If there's something that you want to see happen in regards to Legions Imperialis, please let me know in the comments below, and I will try and accommodate as many people as possible. All right, guys, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one.